We are back here on the program, the platform, and Rudolph Tinker, our guest on the program today. And one of the major issues that we have in our country, Mr. Tinker, is crime.
I agree.
I think that is the number one issue. What do you say?
I agree with that because I've been following how the newspapers have been sensationalizing the murder rates on the front page of their papers. You know, when I looked at the end of last year, we had 100, then 105, and then 110, and I just think, I think that's really puts a lot of people in a shock. And I would like to see some data on how many people have left the Bahamas for good last year because of the rise in crime. And most of these crimes really could be broken down to see, okay, was this crime connected? Did these two people know each other? Or this was just a random Joe walking along to his lonesome and just got shot randomly for no given reason?
What are you saying? The media should put it on the back page?
No. I'm just saying sensationalizing it doesn't help at all.
I don't see anything being sensationalized. You're reporting the fact.
You're reporting the fact
is that you had 123 murders officially in 2014.
No,
that is reported.
I agree with that. I'm just saying the different types of murders. All murders don't fall in one category. You're right. You got domestic violence issues. You got gun-related issues.
Homicide. A homicide is a homicide.
A homicide, but
if you take a life with a gun or a knife, it's a homicide.
I agree.
All right?
I agree.
But there are too many of those. As we speak now, we have, 9 for the year?
Yeah, 9. I agree. I agree.
And these should be reported.
I agree with that totally. But when you look at murders, and a lot of people are saying they want capital punishment. They want these individuals to be hung. Okay? I agree with that. Now, I did some research in the Privy Council, okay, because it's the highest court of appeal here, which is really, the Privy Council really is one guy. But you have a joint committee called the Joint Committee of the Privy Council, which is a total of 10 individuals. That's who we appeal to. You don't appeal to the Privy Council. You appeal to the Joint Committee of the Privy Council, which is a total of 9 lords and 9 males and 1 female, which are all over the age of 65. And I really believe right now in this region that we're in, and the dynamics of the Caribbean and its former heritage of colonialism, that there must be a point where we are able to trust our own people and trust the highest court in the land to say that the Supreme Court of the Bahamas or some court in the Caribbean should be its highest jurisdiction. Because
I'm surprised at you,
Because we cannot allow the Privy Council to overturn the death penalty.
I'm surprised at you.
Why would you say that?
Why I'm surprised at you. I'm really surprised at you. The Privy Council is the highest court in the Bahamas.
I said that.
In the Bahamas.
Right.
The Privy Council, it meets here from time to time.
Right.
It's the highest court in the Bahamas. Right. It is not some foreign court. It is the highest Bahamian court.
Right.
Okay? That's the first thing.
Right.
And just as you have foreign men and women who come to the Bahamas to be judges in our Supreme Court, in our Court of Appeal, you have foreigners who are in the Privy Council.
Right.
So it is as if our Supreme Court is meeting in London.
Right. That's where it is.
No. Our Supreme Court is in the Bahamas. But the Privy Council...
It's a satellite court. Your Supreme Court is in the Bahamas, but the Privy Council is in London.
It's a satellite court of the Bahamas.
Yes.
They are adjudicating on Bahamian law. Not any other law.
Yes.
Bahamian law.
Yes.
And Bahamians appear from time to time before the Privy Council on Bahamian law and dealing and representing Bahamians.
When they're appealing a decision of the Supreme Court.
So do not give the impression that this is some foreign court. It is not a foreign court. It's a Bahamian court.
Of the Privy Council.
It's a Bahamian court.
The Judicial Committee of the Privy Council is based in London.
We have a satellite branch. Is the highest court in the Bahamas and of the Bahamas.
And why is that?
That is it. That is our constitution.
It was decided at the time it was decided at the time of independence that we would keep the Privy Council
as
to oversee
No, not to oversee.
That's a,
not
that's a
to
check
oversee.
and balance on the Supreme Court because we don't
sir.
trust ourselves.
No, sir, you dead
Because
wrong.
many of the...
Professor Tinker, you are dead wrong.
I am dead right on this one.
You shouldn't be saying that
I'm
on the
dead
air.
right
you
on
know.
this one.
The lawyers, lawyers look at you and laugh at you.
The Privy Council, yes. It's
They
the,
look at
it's
you
the
and laugh at
last
you.
resort of...
Don't say that.
It's the last
Privy
resort
Council
of
in the
appeals.
Constitution is the highest court of the Bahamas.
It is the last resort of appeal.
It is the highest court of the Bahamas.
It's the highest court of...
That is why they came to the Bahamas at least 2 or 3 times, and they sat in the Bahamas, and they heard cases in the Bahamas, because it's the highest court in the Bahamas.
Who gets the appeal to the Privy Council?
Anybody.
Anybody?
Yes. If you feel that you should approach the Privy Council on a particular matter, you file as if you are filing with the Supreme Court or with our Court of Appeal. You file with the Privy Council, and the Privy Council will give you a date to hear your matter.
Never.
Yes.
The Privy Council will only take a case if that case is so unique that it could not have been handled at the Supreme Court level. The Privy Council does not hear every case. It does not hear every case.
The Court of Appeal doesn't hear every case.
Exactly.
No. The Court of Appeal will tell you that this is not. They will tell you this is not a case that they would like to deal with. Hold on, or they that you don't have leave. You do not have leave to appeal. So you have to be granted leave to appeal to all the courts. So if you have a case in our Supreme Court in the Bahamas, and you want to appeal it, you have to get leave to appeal to the Court of Appeal. And the Court of Appeal will give you leave to appeal to the Privy Council.
And when you appeal to the Privy Council, they'll look at your case, and if your case is not that of significance, they would reject your case.
No, if
they would reject your case.
Yes, as all courts do.
I look at it all the time.
If they see that you have no basis for an appeal, or if it is a case that is
But the Privy Council tries its best not to intervene with the Supreme Court. I've read every piece of legislation. It tries its best not to intervene with the Supreme. The only time they would hear a case, if that case is so unique and is setting a precedent for future cases, they would hear it. They would hear it like a death sentence case.
That is not true.
I read it.
That is simply not true.
I've read it.
There are many land cases that have gone to the Privy Council.
Landmark cases.
No, land.
Title cases.
Land.
Okay.
O.B. Ferguson had labor cases at the Privy Council. He won at the Privy Council at least 3 times.
It probably was very unique. It was a very unique case. I'm just giving, like, for example, the U.S. Supreme Court only takes unique cases.
There was nothing unique about him appealing to the Privy Council in the matter involving the employees of Sandals who wished to be registered as a trade union, and they were having difficulty, and the Privy Council gave a ruling in favor of the employees of Sandals. There was nothing unique about that.
Well, I would have to look at define the uniqueness.
Let's talk about something else.
I would have to look at I would find uniqueness. But the bottom line in this crime thing, if the Privy Council is going to reject capital punishment, how is the government of the Bahamas is going to send a signal to say we need to hamper the murder situation by hanging people? Because obviously this government seems to can't hang. Why don't you answer that for me? How could this government right now go down to Her Majesty's prison and pop a few necks?
Because it doesn't work that way.
That's what I'm saying, the Privy Council.
Because we are a country of laws.
We are a country of laws.
The Privy Council never said that you cannot do it.
They said the worst of the worst. Define that.
They never said that you can't do it,
Define the worst of the worst. It is
all right?
so...
And they ruled that the death penalty is not mandatory. All right? They ruled that. There were some cases that were sent back to the Supreme Court or the Court of Appeal, and people were resentenced. And some of the people who were resentenced to death.
And did they kill them?
No. You see, you have to go through a process.
Another process.
It's a process. You can't just kill people like that.
I know the process.
All right?
When
And this whole notion about just killing off your citizens, people have moved beyond that. They've grown beyond that.
I agree.
There are a whole lot of people who are on a higher intellectual plane
I agree with
and who
that.
believe that we should not wait until our citizens have to get to that point, that we should be socializing our citizens so that they do not get to the point where you have to kill them off.
I agree with that, but we're at a point now with 120-something murders.
So you want to kill 127? How many days?
We have
you
to
want
get-
about 5 a day? That's what you want to do?
if
There's some languishing in prison right now, so you have more than 127.
If that's
so
gonna-
so
if-
you have about 500. How many you want to kill a day
if they have
and call yourself civilized?
if they have exhausted all the listen, the United States, we hang people every we
You-
electrocute
the United
people.
States,
We electrocute people.
The United States is one of the grossly unfair societies and venal societies of the world.
Don't
mind all the money they have.
I'm not going to agree on that. Because guess what?
There's more poverty there. There's more cruelty
Oh,
there.
come on.
There's more
Come
cruelty
on.
there. There are more people who are victimized in the United States of America.
Victimization?
Oh yes.
I think the Bahamas is
Than
grossly victimized.
any place in the world. Ask the people in Ferguson, in Missouri.
Oh, listen.
Ask the people in New York.
Okay. All right.
You wanna-
No,
you wanna-
no,
you
no,
really
let's
wanna
not-
have that
Those
debate?
were examples of individuals that had brushed
Ask
with law
the number
enforcement.
of people
But
who are in their graves
in the
now.
United
No,
States.
Ask the number of people who have languished in prison in the United States for 30 years and more. And then they found by some DNA testing, we convicted the wrong man.
well, that's a good thing. It's just progress.
But how many people went to the electric chair?
Well, we don't know that. We don't know that. But we're in a small developing country, like you
answer
said.
that.
We're in a small
Answer that.
developing country. We have to make this adjustment. So right now, the government needs to send a shockwave into society to say we cannot continue to kill. The criminals are not scared anymore.
Mr. Tenka, the vast majority of countries in the United Nations have voted against capital punishment.
I agree, but the United States is still killing.
The United States is no final arbiter of anything.
No.
Okay? The United States is out to lunch on this. The vast majority of the sophisticated countries and civilized countries in the civilized Western world
Do they have a crime
have
problem?
voted against capital punishment.
Do these countries have a major crime problem?
Some of them have a problem. In the United Kingdom, people still kill. In Canada, people still kill.
Per capita, per capita,
in Sweden,
per capita,
and Switzerland,
per capita,
and other places like
they
that.
kill, but per capita, we're in
they're
trouble.
not hanging
So
anybody.
basically, you're against.
They're not hanging anybody.
You're against capital
The next
punishment.
The next thing you're going to tell me is use the cat nine tails. That's
So
what you're in favor of the cat nine tails.
So
too,
you're
right?
against capital punishment.
You're in favor of the cat nine tails, right?
The punishment.
You want to use the cat nine tails?
Punishment should fit the crime. The punishment should fit the crime. You kill, you say goodbye. Once you have exhausted all your resources in the legal system, because prosecution and the state has to prosecute you 100% beyond a reasonable doubt. The law, the government must find you guilty.
Everyone who commits murder should be killed. That's what you say. Everyone.
If that's the final verdict from my peers, which is the jury, then carry it out.
Even if the man is sick. Even if you find
Well,
that.
so what?
Even if you find
So what if he's
so
sick?
what you say?
So what if he's sick? He committed an atrocity by taking somebody's life.
If he's mentally ill
If he's mentally ill and
he commits a crime, kill him.
and his defense attorney can prove that he committed this act because of reasonable insanity, then he gets a pass.
Yeah, but
listen, I'm saying
there
go
are
through the
many
legal
there are
process.
many criminals who are ill.
But
they
the-
are mentally ill.
But it's up to the defense to prove that.
They are victims in a sick society.
But-
they are sick. And society has not been dealing with the illnesses in the society. We are talking about social ills.
I agree, but
all right? And so when you have social ills in a society, you need the antidote. You need the prescription
What is
to
that?
cure the social ills in your society.
What is that prescription?
What is the prescription? Better homes, better schools, a more effective Christian witness. All of these things are the prescription for cure.
I agree.
An effective church, effective homes, effective educational systems, so that they can produce wholesome individuals like Rudolph Tinker.
So when we gonna start this effectiveness if we don't put a hamp on crime?
Come back home and start teaching some people.
Start teaching people? I
Yes.
want to be Minister of National Security.
So you want to be Minister of National Security so you can line them up and kill them. That's what you want to do.
Don't put words in my mouth now. I just say I will be Minister.
Thank you, man. Appreciate your coming here today.
Good job, man. Thank you. Thank you.
We still have some issues to discuss.
Yes, we do. We do. And I'm glad to be here. Happy New Year, Bahamas. And I hope this year is a prosperous year and we can move forward to bigger and better things.
Every time you come back, you come right here. You come here and sit in that seat. Thank you so very much for watching and listening to our program today. Good evening, everyone.